Father Don, Sister Barbara, members of our faculty and our board of trustees, and to all of our family members and friends who are gathered here today. On behalf of the graduates, I just want to say we're so happy that you're here celebrating with us. But most of all, we want to thank you for having been there along this entire journey. Through our papers and through our meltdowns and through our complaining, we've appreciated the love and the support that all of you have given, and we're so happy to be celebrating here with you today. Graduates, I'd like to thank you for having bestowed on me this honor of being your speaker. It's comforting to know that when you were asked who should be given one last class presentation, you all thought that it should be me. But truly, I am honored. And today, I want to leave you with one simple message. At the end of the first letter to the Thessalonians, St. Paul wrote this: "Rejoice always, pray continuously, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." Now don't worry, graduates, this time I've done the exegesis for you. And scholars believe that 1 Thessalonians was written first among all the texts in our New Testament canon, meaning that this piece of advice may be the first recorded advice from a formator to an aspiring minister. Now, the advice is simple. It's rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances. These are simple words with profound meaning, but as we all know, too often profound meaning can be missed. In fact, one commentary, not written by any of our faculty, I assure you, said that this exhortation is too general to be useful. But I did my analysis with a hermeneutic of graduation, and I disagree. Our experiences here at CTU have taught us many things. We've learned that we can't be true ministers at the margins if we aren't joyful when we get there. We've learned that we can't be integrators of mission, of liturgy, and of contemplation if we aren't also prayerful. We've learned that we can't be ministers of peace and of reconciliation if we aren't thankful. And our praxis will look nothing like that of Hildegard of Bingen if we aren't all three. We go out into the world to tackle big problems with little resources in what are sometimes desperate circumstances. And graduates, the last thing that this church needs more of are cynical burnouts. What she needs are ministers who are rejoicing, who are prayerful, and who are continually giving thanks. And we must be those ministers when we go forth from this place on our next journey. Some of us have been called to stone-throwing vocations. God is calling us to break open long-shut windows and to shatter glass ceilings. To us, this passage asks that we refrain from throwing stones of anger, of selfishness, and of pride, and throw instead stones of rejoicing, of prayer, and of thanksgiving. Some of us have been called to hold the line, to transmit the church's orthodoxy. And to us, this passage is a reminder that the primary aim of our tradition, the will of our Father in Christ Jesus, is that we become a community that rejoices, a community that prays, and a community that gives thanks. This will be the metric by which we judge our success. Now, some of us will work in places and situations that aren't traditionally considered ministry. And I submit to you that our ministry will not be the buildings that we work in, will not be the job titles that we have, or even what we spend most of our day doing. Our ministry will be the extent that our own rejoicing, that our own prayer, and our own thanksgiving introduces this world to its loving Creator and transforms it at its most deepest level. This will be the ministry of all of us. Now, to the faculty, we thank you for having been so transparent in your own joy and your own prayer and your own thanksgiving while we have been here. Even though we complained, we learned a lot from the lectures and the assignments, but we learned more from your example, and no amount of tuition could ever repay you. And to everyone gathered here today, we invite you to join in this work with us. We are an excited group of ministers ready to take on the world, and after a few more nights of good sleep, our joy will be even more convincing. We will need your continued love, your continued support, and your continued companionship on the rest of this journey, and I know you will be there with us, and we thank you. On a personal note, graduates, I cannot thank each of you enough for the role you have played in my own experience here at CTU, so please know you are in my prayers as we move forward, but also know that we move forward from this place together, rejoicing always, praying continually, and giving thanks in all circumstances. Thank you.